It's back. The 8th generation Passat is here in India in its brand new avatar, and look at it, isn't it just gorgeous? And finally, we have it with us for a review. This one is a little more sleek, it's a little more butch, and it's got a whole lot more attitude. It's going to take on the likes of the Skoda Superb, the Toyota Camry, and the Honda Accord. Do stay tuned as I talk to you about how it feels to live with the brand new Volkswagen Passat. The exterior of the new Volkswagen Passat comes with LED headlamps and LED DRLs. It also gets cornering lights. Front fog lamps come with chrome surround. There's chrome molding on the side windows as well. The rear gets a dark red LED tail lamp setup. You also have rear fog lamps and a rear defogger. Volkswagen is also providing an easy to open boot, so in case you have your hands full with bags or shopping, etc., all you need to do is swipe down under the boot area and the boot lid releases. You also have a button to shut the boot lid, and if you have the key in your pocket, all you need to do is walk up to the car, pull the door, keyless entry. So it's pretty smart, it's pretty convenient, it makes life a lot more easier. The new Volkswagen Passat really redefines luxury in this segment particularly. The interiors are warm, they're welcoming, they're rich and plush. They have a very upmarket feel. The steering, the materials used, the wooden inlays, this piano black finish which has been incorporated in heavy doses all around the cabin, you know. And they do tend to leave fingerprints, so that can be a little annoying, especially if you have OCD about it. But otherwise, the fit and finish and the feel inside the cabin, especially for the driver, is a really pleasant experience. Now I'm sitting in these seats and they are immensely comfortable. In fact, the driver's seat also has a massage function and the front seats are heated. The lumbar support as well in this vehicle can be electrically adjusted, and you have electrically operated front seats. There is also a memory function for the driver's seat, so that is pretty handy to have and is definitely required if you have multiple people driving this sedan. Also on offer are drive modes. You can select between Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport and individual driving modes. You also have 3-zone climate control among other things, with rear AC vents and an individual control for the rear seat occupants and individual control for the front seat occupants. Another really classy touch is this analog clock which has been incorporated into the dash. It looks quite smart and pleasant. The driver gets a good point of view of the road and great visibility from the ORVMs and a good view outside the rear as well with this frameless internal rearview mirror. Also on offer are automatic headlamps, and you also get rain sensing wipers with an intermittent wiper function. You also have a demister function for the ORVMs which comes with electronic operation and electronic retraction. Also on offer in the Passat is voice command and cruise control. So there are a lot of handy features which have been incorporated into this sedan, and it makes a lot of sense buying it if you're in the city. It adds to the practicality and the usability of each function. Now what I did not really like about the Passat is that the screen is a little bit small and feels a little out of place on this really large and broad dash. You have plenty of functions, so you have multimedia, you have connectivity through Bluetooth, USB, aux, and of course you also get an app suite to pair your mobile device with the infotainment setup. The functionality of it is quite good. In fact, you can also view the vehicle status via the screen, so all the different functions can be operated from this screen up front. Vehicle will tell you which driver profile it has been set to and also the tire pressure, but that's about it. That's all the vehicle status that you can view on this screen. The cabin is also pretty airy thanks to the sunroof up top, which can be electronically controlled or folded up, and the view up top is pretty good. I have seen larger sunroofs, but this one also is pretty big. So another handy feature in this vehicle is the park assist feature. You switch it on here. Just drive up to where you want to park. Senses the space. And it's giving me directions to put the vehicle into reverse. Now it is automatically steering. I have nothing to do with the steering controls of the vehicle. All I need to do is control the brakes, change the gear. It also tells me when to brake. As you can see, I'm not controlling the steering at all. Park assist has stopped. Take over steering. It has successfully parallelly parked the vehicle. Put it into parking, shut off the engine, and leave. So over in the rear as well, it's a very comfortable experience, and there's a lot of space for me to stretch out. Under thigh support could have been better. Back support and the overall feeling of being ensconced is pretty good. Plenty of shoulder room if you have 4 people sitting inside this cabin. A fifth, however, may be a little uncomfortable. The seat in the middle is flat, but this tunnel is pretty tall, so the person who's sitting in the middle will have to sit with their legs apart. You also have rear AC vents with an individual temperature control. Definitely handy to have. Manually foldable blinds for the rear seat occupants, and of course an electronically controlled rear window blind which can be operated from the center floor console up front. You also have an armrest, and it's made of soft materials, quite comfortable to rest your hand on. 2 bottle holders up here, the bottle holders in the door, map pockets up front. So quite comfortable, the rear seat of the new Passat, and it's pretty airy. You have a decent view of the cabin as well. I'm liking it in the rear seat, and I would prefer being chauffeured around. However, I need to drive it and also find out how well this 2-liter diesel engine mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission fares, especially on Delhi roads amidst heavy traffic and on the open stretches of highway. Okay, so I've been driving around the city of Delhi in this new Volkswagen Passat, and in fact I need to tell you that I'm pretty happy with it. It's a very comfortable ride. It's fun even in city traffic, and it is also pretty sporty on open highways. In fact, if you want to push it hard, it's quite responsive and does the job pretty well. Now, powering the new Passat is a 2-liter TDI turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel unit. This engine has been mated to a 6-speed DSG gearbox, which is pretty seamless, and in fact if you're ambling around city traffic, then you won't really get to know the gear shifts. Volkswagen has also catered to paddle shifts, and you have a sports mode as well. So one flick of the lever down and you go into sports mode, and this DSG gearbox is simply seamless. This diesel unit puts out approximately 177 PS of power, which comes in at 3600 RPM, goes up all the way till 4000 RPM. The red line is at 5000 RPM, and if you want to push the Passat, it definitely does get going pretty easily. In fact, the brakes are also pretty efficient and progressive. Sharp braking, so I'm down from about 80 kmph in a jiffy. Pretty impressive. Now this engine puts out approximately 350 Newton meters of torque, which comes in at approximately 1500 RPM, and it ranges up to 3500 RPM. So that's quite a wide band in which basically if you put your foot down on the accelerator, you have a lot of power on offer to play with. All you need to do is control it, which The Passat does really well thanks to the well-tuned suspension setup and the chassis. The sedan can handle its weight really well. It's planted to the road, and you point it in a direction, it definitely keeps that direction. You have great amount of traction, which is rendered off the wheels as well. The suspension setup on the new Passat as well is pretty good. It's slightly on the stiffer side, but gobbles up most of the undulations and bumps pretty well, and you don't get too tossed around in the cabin. In fact, a very minimal amount of it seeps in. As you see, I just went through some bumps. Quite comfortable over bumpy roads as well. Now, I'm really loving the steering. It's been weighted adequately well, and the NVH levels inside the Passat are also decent. The rumble from the diesel engine is definitely there inside the cabin. Road noise is minimal, wind noise as well is almost negligible, so those are areas which I won't really complain too much about. So this new Passat goes up against the likes of the Toyota Camry, the Honda Accord, and of course the Skoda Superb. In my opinion, it has a cut above the rest. The design has a definite road presence, and you can notice heads turning. It's unique with a lot of handy features. The park assist feature is on point and precise, just a little getting used to. The easy to open boot sensor as well is very handy, and you don't really need to swipe your leg too many times, unlike other systems that I've seen. In fact, it's much more precise and responsive than the systems that I've seen incorporated in some other sedans. So if you are in the market for a sedan in this class, then I would definitely point you in the direction of the Volkswagen Passat. It's worthy of the price tag that Volkswagen has given it, and comes with a lot of features that are definitely contemporary, that are definitely handy, and you're getting a lot of value for your money. We hope you liked this review. If you did, please remember to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe to the Motown India channel in case you haven't done so already.